Okay, so I guess I'll switch my mic. Perfect. I hope you all can hear me okay from this side. Please just give me some reactions so that I can know you can hear me okay. Perfect. Thank you, Fatma. Thank you, Nyakwa. Amazing to see you all here joining us. Thank you, Lewis. Perfect. So it's visible. So my screen is visible. You can hear me okay. Perfect. So you can get started. So welcome to Cohort 3, Session 5 of Building Agentic Systems Solutions on Avalanche. So tonight, we're going to explore RAG. But before I get into what we're going to explore tonight, maybe if you're new here, maybe it's your first time here, you do not know you don't understand what's going on. So we will just dive right into it. So before we begin, if you can, please turn on your cameras. We'd love to see you. We would love to celebrate you. And of course, house rules. If you're not speaking, please feel free to mute. And when the time comes for you to speak up, we will be able to give you the microphone and you're able to speak. Okay. And then right about now, I want to take just 2 minutes to get to know you. So drop us your name in the chat. So who are you, or what is your alias, and where are you joining us from? So I would love to see that in the chat. So I'm just going to pause here for like 2 minutes and just check in the chat to see who is actually engaging with us. So if you're on the call and you can hear my voice, please go ahead and engage with me. Don't blue tick me. I'm just checking the chats and no one else has sent anything so far. So I'd love to get to know you all. I'm seeing a lot of new faces here. I can imagine some of us are actually new, and I can see some familiar faces, and I'm sure most of you are actually, constant members of the community. You continue to show for yourselves, continue to learn. So I love to see that. So again, before I go back to the chat, please continue dropping in the chat, because it's very important to get to know one another. And then, of course, part of the house rules is if you're part of this call and if you're part of our community, you should know that we encourage asking questions, because asking questions is very important to get to. It's one great way of just learning and upskilling one another. So there's no dumb questions. So feel free to ask all the questions. I don't want to say to be questions, but feel free to ask all the questions and freely. Again, be present. So in case you have too many tabs that are open, feel free to close some. I know for sure, because you all developers have 1,000+ tabs open, and so that could be distracting for a minute. And then, so I hope you're joining us to build this powerhouse together, because that's the main reason why we are here. Before I get to the next thing, I will just check the chart to see who is joining us from where. Nice. I see Kevin. So Kevin, you are a student from your end. Lovely to see that. I see Lewis. Lewis is joining us from all the way in Chuka. Wow, amazing. I also see Dennis, you're joining us from Doha in Qatar. Oh, amazing. So it looks like tonight we have a quite diversified audience, which is good. So if you're on the call and you've not dropped in your name and where you come from, you're the person you're waiting for. So I see Alwin. So you are a data engineer at M-Pesa Kenya, and I can guess you're joining us from Kenya. I'm not sure, but correct me if I'm wrong, but welcome. I see Fatma. Fatma is a student in Kiriri. Amazing. Love to see that. And then, Dennis, you're asking a question if there's recordings for the previous sessions. Yes, we do have some recordings for the previous sessions. All this information can be found on our YouTube, so don't worry. In the course of the session, I will be projecting link, a QR code, so you can scan and get access to all the information. I see Brian. Brian, you are an AI engineer and a freelancer. Where are you joining from? Let us know. I see Vincent is joining from J, quite amazing. So we have some students from your end, from Chuka, from Kiriri, from JQuat. We'd love to see that. If you're a student actually and on the call, let us know which university you're representing. Maybe, just maybe, we might do something in your university this coming month because you're planning a series of university tours. So let us know if you're on the call, and we'd love to have us in your university, and we will plan something around the same. Okay, so again, I will just quickly get into our declarations for tonight. So if you are new here, you just know we do this all the time. And I'm sure by now you have already mastered all this. So one day we will just do our declarations without us having to look at the screens, just to see where we are at in terms of, mastering some of these declarations that you keep saying. So right about now, we will just get into it. So just like take a moment and pause, and then just breathe. Okay, we're gonna breathe in and out 3 times, and then we're gonna say our declarations before we get right into it. Okay, so breathe in and out. Breathe in and out once again. One last chance to breathe in and out. Okay, amazing. So you should notice your muscles relaxing, your shoulders just also relaxing, and yeah, you should be able to be more present this particular time. Okay, so let us now get into our declarations. And if you can unmute your microphone so that we can say this together, feel free to do so. But if you cannot, and then do not worry at all. So just mute your microphone, but make sure you say these declarations with us, with your mouth, if you can speak. So I think we'll get right into it. So in the count of 3, 2, and 1, let's say it together. I am a builder. I belong in this space. I bring my full focus, curiosity, and courage today.
I am not too late. I am exactly on time. I ask questions boldly. Voice matters here. I am learning Web3 and teaching others to build real solutions. I am part of a community that lifts each other up. Today, I take one closer to my vision.
And I hope you said it like you mean it. Okay, great. So let's quickly get into it. So yeah, this is the most exciting part as well. So where are you in your Web3 journey? So I already see students in the chat. I see folks joining us from Qatar. Where are you in your Web3 journey? Now that you know where you're coming from, tell us where you are in your Web3 journey. So if you're totally new and it's your first time hearing about Web3, please give us an A. Okay, so I'll just mute you. Okay. All right, cool. So if you're totally new and it's your first time hearing about Web3, please give us an A in the chat. If you've heard the terms but have not built anything, give us a B. If you have experimented a little about wallets and NFTs, give us a C. And if you built something in Web3 before, give us a D. And if you are already shipping here and you're here to level up, give us an E. Let me see. Let me check in the chat. Let me see where most of you are at. Okay. Oh, I see more people dropped in their, names. I see Vincent is joining from Jacob. I think I had seen that. And then I see George. George is joining from Tombaya University. Amazing. Wow, what a diversified list of universities you all are coming from. So I see Lewis. So Lewis, you've experimented a little, about wallets, about NFTs. We love to see you now upscale and progress into building something and shipping something. I also see Joseph, you're already shipping and you're here to level up. I love to see that. I see Dennis Obiambo. Dennis, you have experimented a little. Hopefully you got a chance to build and ship something. I see Fatma. So Fatma, you've built something in Web3 before. I'd love to know about it. Tell us more about what you've built. So if you're on the call and you're not engaging with me, please drop in the chat. It's just a letter. So if it's an A or a B or a C or a D or an E, let us know. And yeah, this will really help us understand exactly where you're at. If you're totally new, do not feel shy. Just let us know if you're new so that I can know how to help. Because trust me, when you get into this hands-on sessions, it gets a lot of information is shared, and maybe if you are stuck, we might not be able to help because we will assume everybody on this cohort is actually an expert, right? So if you're new here, don't feel shy. And okay, so I see Sony has built something in Web3 before. Love to see that. Okay, so I'll quickly just get into it. So if you're new here and you do not know about Mini Hack, so go ahead and scan this QR code and sign up for upcoming events. So we have a series of so many upcoming events. If you scan this QR code, it will take you to our Luma, and you'll be able to see, to have access to all the upcoming events. So go ahead and sign up, and hopefully to see you soon during the Mini Hack Night of Cohort. Okay, so if you're wondering what is Mini Hack, so Mini Hack is a builder program that is designed to equip founders with Web3 fundamentals, help you build a niche ecosystem of technical and non-technical talent. It gives you hands-on experiences building on Avalanche, just the way you're about to experience. And Mini Hack is here to create real projects that actually solve real problems. And we are here to foster a powerhouse community of ecosystem enablers. So this is not just a workshop, this is your launchpad. Okay, so if you're new here, if you're a student, the way I see so many students on the chat, this should be a go-to place. So if you Google at Avalanche Builders Hub, it should take you to this amazing landing page where you'll get the academy, explore the Avalanche Academy, explore the Entrepreneur Academy. If you're totally new, you want to start to learn about Avalanche and understand from a layman's perspective, go ahead and search for All Explains. So All Explains is going to be a perfect place for you. Has amazing articles and explainers that will help you understand Avalanche in a very easy layman's language. We also have the Avalanche Entrepreneur Academy on the Avalanche Builders Hub, so go and check it out. Again, so maybe you're wondering who we are, what we do. So I'll just quickly give you like an overview. So Team One is a global community. So we empower the global community to build Avalanche and cultivate a builder culture that supports and onboard founders and startups. So we aim to become a clear arm of Avalanche alongside Avalabs and the Avalanche Foundation. So our North Star. So we aim to create regional impacts organically, putting and be able to establish Timon chapters across key regions. So for example, our region is launching soon, so hopefully you'll be part of that launching ceremony. We will be announcing more information soon, so let me not spill too early. And then we're also looking to scale regionally. and build repeatable playbooks that are transferable. Again, we are fostering and building a builder community. So bringing builders together, offering them a community, and building clear pathways for them from onboarding until they ship. So kind of what we're doing here right now. And then we are a growing base of builders that are shipping real products on Avalanche. All in all, we are positioning and we are positioned to scale the Avalanche network across Africa. So that's what we are, and that's what we are. So this is our resource hub. So if you scan this resource hub, it will take you to Linktree. So on Linktree, you'll find most information, all the information, including links to join the community, Telegram, WhatsApp, follow us on our X, engage with us, really understand where to get information. All information around mini hack can be found here. So yeah, this is going to be your go-to place when you want to find any resources. So that's just it for me for the intro part. So I will now welcome Joseph to take us to the next session. So if you are joining us back, welcome back. But if you're joining for the first time, welcome. So Joseph will take us through the recap for last week's session. So we meet every single Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. East African time zone. So you all are welcome to, be consistent and continue learning with us because we love to learn together. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. And yeah, let's give Joseph some reactions, guys. Let's show him some love as he is coming up on stage to take up the mic. Yes, amazing. Thank you all. Welcome, Joseph.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you see some reactions you can hear? Nice. Just give me a second. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome back. All right. Before we get started, my name is Joseph Mwangi on the Web3 Space Eco-Vice Coach. To those who know me. I'm currently the lead technical contributor for Avalanche, whereby I lead like the Avalanche builders across, the education content, like from onboarding from simple Web 2 to now getting to understand the core mechanics of blockchain and start building on Avalanche. So I'm also a builder. I'm also a founder, a 2 times founder. I founded a company of mine called MentorSync. We've been in market for the last 2 years, whereby it's basically you're promoting holistic wellness at your fingertips. We are dealing with therapy. And my tech company called Elom Labs, whereby we specialize in creating software solutions for companies. So yeah, basically we are building the intersection of technology and real world impact. So yeah, if you want to connect with me, feel free to scan that QR code before we get started. Lavender, I'm getting some information here that some people are actually waiting to be let in the lobby.
Oh. Yeah, I think Bella is doing a good job to onboard people, but let me just double check and onboard more of them.
Nice. Okay, so let's get started. So on Thursday, you built the wallet advisor, whereby it had the human in the loop checkpoint for those who actually interacted with it, and it also had an audit log for every decision that it was making. Also, that agent could summarize a wallet, but it could not answer a question about your own document.
Okay, guys, can anyone hear Joseph? No. Okay. All right. Looks like Looks like Joseph is having some technical issues. Okay, let's just give us. Yeah, so in case you are on the call as you're waiting for Joseph to get back, so if you're here and you are a developer, can you give me some reactions? Like for all the developers in the chat, can you give me the heart? Okay, you can either give me the hearts or the thumbs up for developers. Okay, so I'm just looking. All right, so we have Lewis, nice. We have Mark, Daniel, Barack, Joseph. Okay, perfect. And if you're here and you are not a developer at all, can you give me a thumbs down? Okay, so all of us are developers. Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think Joseph, you're back.
Sorry guys, where? Okay, I never realized it was off. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, let me just share my screen once more. Where was I before?
You can just pick it up. You can just could you got the next slide, like back?
There?
Yeah, just pick it up from there. It's good. No, yeah.
Okay, nice. So okay, from what I was saying, in the last session, we actually built a smart wallet advisor with a human in the loop checkpoint with also an audit log for every decision. But now an issue that we also did not address, of which that was intentional because it was mostly focused for this session, is that agent could not summarize a wallet, but okay, that agent, it could summarize a wallet, but it could not answer a question about your own dogs or your own product or anything that's outside what you actually trained it to do. But tonight, that actually changes because we'll be looking at retrieval augmented generation. So what this means is we'll be giving your agent private knowledge base that it can actually search through. So for those who've been following through the sessions, we always have a quote for each and every session. So for tonight's session and taking us through all the way to Thursday, this is a quote that will be focusing on your agent knows what it was trained on. Tonight, it learns what you actually have. So always have these in your mind. So let's just skip tonight's agenda. The most important thing here to mention about is this is what we'll be checking on, the RAG pipeline. That is the embedding, the chunking strategies, and then we'll be diving to the technical session. We'll do the live demo, and then we'll handle the evaluating quality and recap. Also, there will be course that will be posted for this, so get ready. For those who have not been added to the GitHub organization, just head over to share your GitHub link, share your GitHub username in the chat, and our technical team are going to be helping us add you to the GitHub organization. So for tonight's code base, before we actually start, for those who are already members of the organization, head over to Talent Index repositories, and the first repository that you're going to see there, the mini-hack Cohort 3, session 5 starter, which is what we'll be working on. So far, I can see 2 of you have already forked the repo, and you are ready for us to get started. So once you're here, Silas is going to share the link to the GitHub in the chat. Just head over and click on fork. Click on fork, create a fork to your local, to your profile, and then copy that URL and clone it to your device and open it with your favorite IDE. That is, if you're a fan of VS Code, if you're a fan of Casa, whatever IDE you like using, Project X, I think it's Project X. Yeah, something of that sort. Oh, Project ADX. If you like using that, just after you forked, click on code, copy that URL and clone it. So let me just head back and continue from where we are. So in the charts, these are quick icebreaker that I want you guys, let's participate in this. So drop this in the chat. What's one thing about your own project that you wish your agent already knew? So just drop something in the chat about this. I'll be reading this. Your comments is continuing. So what is one thing about your own project you wish your agent already knew? Let me see the first person. Let me read the first comments. Okay, is you coding, nice. So what is the one thing about your own project you wish your agent already knew? Silas, marketing and client outreach. That's a nice one. Okay, nice. I can literally see some good responses there. Okay, keep that in mind, because by the end of tonight, you'll actually be able to give it that knowledge. So Silas, for your product, what you're going to be building, by the end of tonight, you'll be able to know how to make your agent be able to do that. Michael Tieno, troubleshooting my infra, that same. Daniel Mwehoti, market that and where to get users. Don't worry, by the end of tonight, you'll be able to understand how to actually do this. So let's start with the actual problem. So the model has a knowledge cutoff, okay? And it never knew your specific docs, okay? That is your product or your private data, okay, in the first place. So no matter how recent the cutoff is, your agent did not have any information about this. This was the problem that we are trying to solve. So RAG, what RAG does, so RAG, it lets the agent search a custom knowledge base at query time, okay? And then it grounds its answers in real documents, and then all this that is happening, it's not giving it as a guesswork. No. It's doing it from the implementation that you've done. So that is the reason why agents need RAG. So the model has a knowledge cutoff, and it never knew your specific docs or your product. But RAG now lets the agent search a custom knowledge base at a query time. So this brings me to the most first thing that we should get to understand about this. That is the RAG pipeline. So there are 5 steps that you need to understand. So 5 steps, and you'll build every single one throughout the session tonight. So, and I'll be just pointing back to these 5 steps as we are continuing, okay? So you need to understand this, okay? Sure. Number 1 is chunk. So for chunk, it splits your documents into smaller pieces, okay? So it splits your documents into smaller pieces. Then the model that the model can actually work with, okay? So let me see if I can get a paper here so I can basically demonstrate. So let's say this is your data or whatever you want to provide, okay? So the very first thing is chunk. The very first step, chunk. So what it does, it splits your document into smaller pieces that the model can actually work with. So your model can't work with this. Remember, you have the tokens limit, you know, all those, the reading it has to come through all those. So for it to be able to work with this, what does it do? It breaks things into smaller chunks. So once it has all these small chunks, it can be able to work with this. Okay, so that's the very first thing, chunks. And then number two is now what we call embed. So for embed, it converts each chunk into a dense vector using an embedding model. So it converts each of these chunks, okay? It converts each of these chunks into a dense vector. Okay, so, and how does it do that? It uses an embedding model. So mark on that embedding model. You'll be able to see that in the next. Number three is store. So for store, so it saves those embeddings. Remember what you're talking about? So you now have the chunks, okay? So it has taken the chunks. And let me just use my highlighter here. So remember, it took your document, split it into chunks, okay? And then after that, the next step, it converted each chunk into a dense vector. So the third thing is storing. So it saves those embedding in a vector database like Chroma, okay? And then now the fourth step is now retrieval. So for retrieval, at query time, embed the question and then find the most similar chunks. This is basically like a perfect explanation. So you've now stored, now it retrieves, and then after it has retrieved, it now generates. So for generating, what do you need to get from this? It injects those chunks. It injects these chunks into now the prompt that the model answers, and now it grounds within them. That is basically what happens. That's the 5 RAG pipelines steps, which is number 1, chunk, number 2, embed, number 3, store, number 4, retrieve, and number 5, generate. So you've heard me talking about something that I've mentioned a lot here, embedding, as you can see here, embedding. So this brings me to the next important thing. What is an embedding? So let's go one level deeper. So now you are here. Now we are getting now deep into it. So this is the core concept that the entire pipeline it rests upon. So an embedding is a dense vector. Okay. So basically, what I mean is it's like a long list of numbers, okay, that now represent the meaning of a piece of text. So the text with similar meaning, they end up with similar vectors. Even if they share almost, where's my pen? Okay, can't find my pen. So even if they share like almost no words in common. So basically, that single property is what makes the semantic search to be possible at all. So that is what an embedding basically means. That is what an embedding, when I'll be mentioning this word, this is what you should be thinking about. Okay, it is a dense vector, like a long list of numbers. Okay, yeah. So now you have a clear understanding of what an embedding is. If you have questions, feel free to drop in the chat. The tech team are there. They'll be able to answer the questions over there. So now you understand what embedding is. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this brings me to the next thing, which is why semantic search and not keyword search. Those are two different things. There's semantic search and there's keyword search. So this is actually also something that actually matters a lot, and you'll be able to see this when we're actually implementing it in the code. So let me just make this notifications. Guys, if you're calling me, the guy who's trying to call me right now is literally in the meeting, and I can see you here, and you're calling me right now. Okay. We Africans, you're fun. Okay. So semantic search. So keyword searches, they find documents that contain the same words. That's from the name itself, keyword. It searches for documents that have the same words, okay, as per from your question, okay? That is keyword search. So if you use keyword search, it's going to miss anything that is phrased differently. Perfect example, if you've been using VS Code, there's a section for it. There's a section in VS Code that goes with, I think it's called search and replace. And there's a way you can filter to keyword searching. If that word is written differently, you're not going to find it, okay? If it is capitalized differently or something of the sort, you're not going to find any instances of where that word has been used, okay? So that is keyword searching. That's one of the issues, which is it's going to miss anything that is phrased differently, okay? So semantic search, it's different. Why? Because it's going to find documents with a similar meaning. And then how? It's going to use what we call cosine similarity. It's going to use something that calls cosine similarity. So this is going, so it's going to find the cosine similarity between these embedding vectors that you have here. Okay, remember embedding, what you talked about, long list of numbers, blah blah blah, and all those blah do's. So that is what semantic search is going to do. So how do I pay someone in USDC and sending a stable coin transfer? You know, land close together in vector space, you know, even though they share almost no word at all. That is one of the things that you're going to be checking. You see, that is one of the prompting, that's one of the questions that you can actually ask. So why semantic search? So you've heard me talking about chunking and all that. So this brings me to now the chunking strategies. I'm about to talk about chunking. If you don't, there'll be questions after this. So stay put. So there are three chunking strategies. And let me just start. So 3 ways to actually split your documents. Okay. So I don't know if I can still use this. So the first one is fixed size. So by fixed size, it means split every number of characters. Let's say let's call it n characters of tokens, and then so for this it is very, very simple and very, very fast. Why? And it's also going to give you the best output. Let's say I have this that piece of paper that I shared with you. So this is a rectangle of, let's say, 10 by 7 centimeters. So so the first one, I can tell it, I want you to break this. Let's say if I want to break this piece of paper into 7 pieces, I can basically define it. I want 7 pieces to come out of this. So how is it going to do? It's going to look for the perfect size that is going to come out of a rectangle of 10 by 7. Okay, so okay, let me say 10 by 6. So that means if you cut along the width, that means you're going to have approximately you can have like 6 different chunks, you know. If you divide by 6, if you want 4 pieces, yeah. So the fixed size, that is one that you're going to default with at start. So the second one is what you call the sentence boundary. So sentence boundary, what it does, it splits on sentence breaks instead of what we call the raw character count. So this is actually better for prose, okay? Not the prose like, not the prose that the pros and cons. No, the pros with an E. So the third one is recursive or hierarchical from hierarchy. Okay. So what this does, it splits by structure first. That is headings, then the section, then the sections. This is actually best for docs, you know, docs like README or the APA reference or the change logs and all those things. So fixed size, it splits every n character. Sentence boundary, it does what? It splits on sentence breaks instead of raw character. And recursive, it splits by structure first, that is the headings, then followed by the sections. So now you understand the chunking strategies. So why does overlap matters? Why does this actually matter? So one more thing before we actually touch code. So this is a hard cut, a hard cut at the chunk boundary, it can split a sentence or an idea, right down the middle. Okay, so overlapping chunks by small tiny amounts, like a sentence or two, what this means, it means that the idea is that, okay, they explain this. Okay, it means that idea still appears to be whole. Okay, that idea still appears to be whole in like at least one chunk. Okay, so a small overlap, it costs a little extra storage. Okay, so basically a split idea is going to cost you like a wrong or incomplete answer. So this is why overlapping matters. This is why overlap matters. So it's actually better if you actually see this in code. So time for the check. So this session, I'm going to start, then you're going to be taken through Silas, and if Ronex has something to add, he's going to add. Later on this. So let me give you like 30-second break. Grab water, be ready. Grab water, be ready. If you've not forked the repo, let me just give you this time so as you can be able to fork the repo, so as you can be able to have access to the code. Okay, let me just make it 1 minute. 1 minute maximum. So let me just share the link to the GitHub repo. Let me just share it here in the chat. Yep, there we go. So remember the steps. Just head over to this repo. Click on fork. Nice. I can see that 11 people have already forked. Nice. Looks like how many people are behind? We need about 30. Yeah. 30 people more to go. 31 more people to go. So head over to this repo, click on fork the repo, and have it on your profile. So once you're there, once you're here, just click on code, copy the URL, clone it to your favorite. Okay, clone it to your device, open it with your favorite IDE. If you like VS Code, sure, continue with it. If you like Casa, you do it, please. 1 minute is up. Nice. 13 of us. Let me just see who forked the first one. Let me actually give you some shout outs. Let me give you guys shout outs. Okay. We have 14 lakhs and Drikash, you guys you forked earlier. Yeah, nice. And Evilia, nice. So let's continue. So back here. I believe you're now relaxed. So let's get to it. So the first thing is okay. So for the loading, I remember when I was talking, I mentioned chroma, things like that. So the first thing is setting up chroma. So just follow along, and all that. When we install chroma and all that, don't really be able to understand this. So let's just get started. let's just get started to it. So let's go through this line by line. So the first line, what this does, the first line, what this does, it basically, so this line npm install chroma db. So this, it pulls in the chroma official JavaScript client. For those, if you've gone to the code base, by the way, I forgot to mention this. If you actually went through the code base, you can be able to see that we managed. If you're a fan of JavaScript, you'll be working within the JavaScript folder. If you're a fan of Golang, your Golang code is right there. Rust is there, and Python is there. So for me, I like JavaScript and Golang. So most of the presentation I'll be talking about JavaScript. Okay, so let me just head over back here and head here. So yeah, the first line, what it does, it installs, okay, it pulls the Chroma official JavaScript client, and then the second line, what this does, what to do, you need to run this command in one terminal, and then you run this in a separate terminal. So this separate command, what this does, it basically, it starts the actual Chroma server running locally, but on a port. Which port? Port 8000. That is basically what it does. Okay, so now in this code, so that is basically what happens. Okay, so this brings me now to the next thing, which is embedding and indexing documents. How do you actually do this? So in here, now let's start to put something in it. Okay, so first we actually define an array called documents. Okay, so we start by defining an array called documents that is with 5 objects. Okay, so each with an a, which with its own ID. Okay, so each with its own ID with a text field. Okay, and then our Avalanche C-chain overview. Okay, that is here, the Avalanche docs, and then this is the ID that I'm talking about, each with its own text. Okay, so if for those who like, you know, so when you'll be building in the Night of Code, which is 28th, and you want to implement the M-Pesa Daraja, this is how you'll be embedding it and indexing it. So yeah, now after doing this, you now need to move to the next step, which is now querying the collection. As I'm taking you guys through this, Silas, maybe you can start setting up your coding environment, because you'll be diving right next to it. So the next step, after you've now embedded and you've now indexed the documents, the next step is now querying the collection. So now we ask it to actually do something, and this is actually where the step 4, that is the retrieve. Remember when I was telling you guys the retrieve, this is the most important part? Yes. No, this is actually where it actually happens. So we actually write a function that we call query knowledge base. Okay, this is how I've named it. Okay, from my end, and you'll be able to see it in the code base. So we start by, we write the function called query knowledge base, and then what this does, it takes 2 arguments. That is the collection we just built. Remember the collection that we just built? Yeah. So it takes those 2 arguments, that is the collection we just built, and a question, which is a plain string. Okay, so it takes the collection and the question. Okay, and this, it is in plain what? Plain string. Then inside we call a collection.query, and then we pass it in query text. Okay, so and also we also call an array. We also call an array. We also call an array. We also call an array that now contains just our one question that we are going to give it. Okay, so that contains that one question, and then the n results. The n results, the number results, which for us we are setting it to what? We've set it to 3. Okay, so that's telling Chroma to do what? To give me back like the 3 closest matches. Okay, not 1, not 10, not 20, not 2. No, 3. Okay, so and under this hood, this is where now the Chroma now it embeds. It basically does at the embedding of the question that you've given it, okay, and it's going to use that exact same embedding model, and then it compares that vector against every document vector that we stored. Okay, and remember what we said. What it's going to use? It's going to use the cosine similarity, and then it returns the closest ones. And remember, what have we set it to? 2, 3. Not 10, not 5, no, 3. Okay, so now look at the return statement. At the return statement, the results of the document at index 0. So that 0, okay, that 0, it actually matters a lot. So why? Chroma's response is structured as one array per query we send. Okay, Chroma's response is structured as one array per query that is going to be sent. Okay, so and we only sent what? And we only sent 1. Okay, so we already read index 0, and then what happens? We call the dot map on that. We call the dot map on that array, and for each piece of the retrieved text that we're going to get, okay, so we are going to build, and we're going to build like a clean object with 3 different fields. That is the text itself, the ID, the text itself, the ID, and the text itself, the ID, and the pulled from results. That is the IDs at 0 at the same index, yeah, basically all those. I know you guys understand JavaScript so far. So that distance number is important, blah, 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 and all that. So let's move on to the next thing, which is the top 3 retrieved chunks. The top 3 retrieved chunks. So when you actually run this, you're going to see that so for you to run this, you can run this command, that is node query test test.js. Then you're going to give it a question. This is our question, which is, what is the C chain? And I had already run this on my end, and these are some of the response that you're going to get. Remember what we said in the here? We want the results. We want the results in 3. And what are we going to get? We're going to get it in 3 over here. Okay? Yeah. So I think let me just leave it here. So as we can actually jump into the hands-on, so as you can actually see it on your end. Silas, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I am.
Nice. Feel free to share your screen.
Yeah, just a moment as I'm finding everything. I was actually preparing the quest, so maybe I'll just like share it right now so that it's easy for guys to maybe to go ahead and maybe like start seeing it or like start interacting with it. Just a moment, so that you can be able to also push for them as well. So just a moment. Okay, let me share my screen. I don't know if you'll have to stop presenting for me to be able to share. I don't know. Let me try.
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Nice. So maybe the quest thing, I don't know, let me try and stop sharing again. I can see it's a bit laggy. I don't know why. Let me stop sharing and then reshare again so that we can be able to work smoothly. Yeah, the beauty about the code base for today's session is not like that huge. The impact is massive, obviously, because we're giving AI the power to like read documents and be able to provide factual answers based on like a document or like a piece of content. But like it's very like small work. It's not huge amount of work. So this is today's quest. Let me just share the link. You guys can just click as usual. For those who are new, just go to this link, click get free access, then the quest button will be there. Otherwise, let me come back here and maybe let me close this as well so that it doesn't interfere. So I'll just do an NVM so that we can be able to look at today's session. If you haven't forked this repo, please go on to GitHub, fork it, and then like clone it to your machine using the git clone command, and then pull from origin main. If you had forked it way earlier, maybe like if you had forked it before 6 p.m., I'd suggest like you do a git pull so that you have like the latest changes. Otherwise, I think Joseph have done a great job explaining this code base for the RAG agent and what it's doing. We're using Chroma client. Then basically we are just like in populating the DB as he has explained. So we are just, you can imagine this document being something like an actual document that you have, maybe a company policy. For example, for me, I was saying if the coding agent could be able to do like marketing and client outreach. So for me, this document can be something like a list of clients and contacts that I've assembled or that I have ethically scraped from the web, and then like build a database or like, and besides some of these databases like MongoDB usually store the data in documents. So you can see the scenario, the semblance there, but basically just a document is some piece of information that is to some extent factual that the agent might need to make a decision or like provide further information to you. So if you are doing like a chain of multi-step thinking, so the agent has to do step 1, then do step 2, then do step 3, and in between there it has to read some data from somewhere, even if it's the web, then that is what like this document represents. It just represents a pool of data that should be referenced at some point. So most of this function I think he has explained, and I think for me now it will just be to run the demo so that we can be able to see what is happening. So we expect that the agent knows about the Avax chain, the chain kit readme, Daraja API, Etherscore, and project readme. We also like expect it, if you ask it something that it is not part of our knowledge base or like our document pool, it should at the very minimum say like I don't know, instead of like giving us answers that are speculative and might be hallucinated. So I'm going to run. So make sure you're inside the JavaScript folder. For me, I'm going to be operating in the JavaScript folder. You can see we have Golang, we have JavaScript, etc. But I'm going to be operating in the JavaScript folder. So inside the JavaScript folder, you can see that we have the rag.js file, which is just this one, which I've been showing to you. And so we're just going to run. So running JS files is just like executing C files or executing Golang binaries or something like that. So Golang compiled code. So like this is the version you do in JavaScript. So I'm going to, let me start with the one that I've done. What is the capital city of Kenya? So this is not part of the document, right? Like it's not part of the document. So at the very least, we should expect, I need to export. Let me do this first so that we can be able to need to set the API. So remember to like set your APIs because it will fail. So when you are at the root of the repo or like when you're inside the JavaScript folder, make sure that you provide the model and the model provider. So for me, mine is OpenAI, and that's why I've used OpenAI. I'm not going to show you the main ENV, but this is just like a attract env.example that we use to show you what you need to fill. So if you have an Anthropic key, fill it. If you have an OpenAI key, fill it here. The Gemini and the Olama one, they're not, I don't think they're functional. So it will be better if you got like an OpenAI key or an Anthropic key.
Sorry to interject. So
Yes.
Can you clear your screen? I think you've shared your keys.
Yeah. Here.
I don't know. In the last command you ran, I think we for those who are sharp boys, I think they'll go back to the recording and pause and view that clip. So congratulations to you guys.
I will rotate it now. Unfortunately for them, I'm going to rotate it right now. I'm going to rotate it immediately after the session. And besides, it's capped a key, so I don't think you'll benefit anything from it. But anyway, please don't do that to me because I'll be very sad. But either way, I'm going to rotate it. So don't you worry, guys. Don't you worry. Anyway, provide your key here, and then if you have an Anthropic, provide it also here. If you want to specify the model that you're using, maybe you want to use GPT Flash or something that is cheaper so that it doesn't burn your tokens. Also, you can change it here. But make sure you read through the documentation. All of these procedures are given inside the documentation. Otherwise, we're going to run that command again. What is the capital city of Kenya? And then at the very least, we expect it to say, like, I don't know, maybe we could set a way in which the agent prompts you to get information from others. So like, I could not find this information in the current documentation pool. What do you want me to do? Search online, do this and this, etc, etc. So that is that. Alternatively, we can ask it now something that is inside there. So we can say what is, I believe it was, let me just find it so I don't ask the wrong question. Yeah, what is the AVAX switching? So this is information that we know it's available inside the pool. So we expect that it should be able to find that in the pool and tell us the response. That is nice. And it also tells us which section of the document it got this answer from. And you can see this was like literally the first entry in the domain. I can go further and say maybe what is the RADS API. Hopefully the spelling doesn't close it off. But you can see like also the Daraj API is this. It exposes the sticky push for that and that. I don't know, it said one again. Maybe it's doing the embeddings in a different type of way, but you can see that the Daraj API is here. And you can go on and on about this, asking it things that are part of the document and not part of the document. If you want something more challenging, you can find a way. I think Joseph explained something about embeddings. So you can find a way in which to embed now this document in instead of embedding an array, because embedding an array is way easier. You can find a way to embed a PDF document, a website, like literally anything that is text. You can find a way to embed it, and then the AI, the embedding model, as Joseph said, will be able to create relationships between the thing that you're asking it, because at the end of the day, what the models are doing is accurate prediction of what word is going to come next. So if it says Daraja and then API, and then it is going to likely know that the information you're looking for is this Daraja API document. So you can go ahead and do that. And I think when you visit most of these modern documentation, like when you go to something like I don't know if Pritiam had it, but Privy, Chainlink, the documentation actually has an AI section, and that AI section, the best guess that I will say it is doing, it's just a RAG model. The thing with these large language models such as GPT and what is it called, Cloud and Gemini, they're general purpose models. So like they have the language model inside them. They also have the embedding model inside them. They have the coding model. So like it's a collection of models, and that's why their sizes is usually as large as they are. So like you don't have to, for such models, you don't have to like do this coding stuff for embedding and doing all of that. But so that if you give it a document, it can be able to tell you, yeah, I found this information for me and here. But you will ask, okay, I did not write any code for it to embed. It's because it comes baked inside the model. But if you go to something like, I think it's called, let me look for it. I think it's called Hugging Face or something. Hugging Face or maybe, what is this other one? I'm forgetting the other one. But if you go to these places where you can download open source model, you can actually find an embedding model. Now, this is just like a model like that is specifically made for like embedding stuff. So it is not doing any other thing. It's just specifically for embedding. And so if you're not looking for these large size model, for example, this, I don't know if the size will be listed somewhere. You can see it's like 0.3 billion parameters. That is like 300 million parameters. So it's a very small model. This is because it's just doing one thing. It is doing one thing very effectively. So this is something that you can have in-house, that you can run on your own, and you can easily see it because it's relatively smaller. You can easily seeing it run. Maybe if you have a home project, you're trying to build a smart home for people and you want them to have an embedded model within their homes, this is something that easily you can get a server for the embedding model to run aside with other cloud applications. So that is why like this RAG now becomes important, because now you can provide it the code and the document pool as we have done here, and then it can be able to like understand what form of data is coming, what is inside my data pool or documents, sorry, and then it can be able to generate like an embedding of the whole thing, and then it can then be used to provide outputs. And where it doesn't know, it also just say it doesn't know. So that is it. That has been me. I don't know if there's anything else that I should explain. Joseph?
Silas,
Yes.
maybe we can do this to show them like how the semantic search works. Just head over back to your terminal. You see the last command that you ran?
Yes.
Last command that you ran. Can you go on Daraja instead of how you've actually spelled Daraja?
Yes.
Can you write it with a small d with caps somewhere or something else?
That way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you can see from this, if we had implemented keyword search, could have got the same response from when he ran what's the capital city of Kenya. We could have got the I do not know. Why? Because that is keyword search. But now a semantic search, it goes back, gets the context of the question, the daraja. So basically it gets that word and then looks from the data that it has. What is this user asking about? So that's why it has given us that response. So that is why we actually implement semantic search. And that is how large language models actually have implemented it. If you actually explored Claude or ChatGPT and you actually ask it some questions, you see, some of us spellings is very difficult. it came with, okay, this language, it came with the ocean. The British brought it to us. So were it not for the autocorrect, we could not be able to be prompting well this model. So that explains why we use the semantic search. So yeah, I don't know if I will not explain anything. Let me just share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see some reaction? If you can see my screen. Nice. Thank you, Abel. Thank you, Munde. Thank you, Munyege. Thank you, Sonny. Okay, so we talked about the top 3 retrieve chunks. We've also seen the prompting actions and the RAG agent actually running. Okay, and so actually test this out on your end. If you actually click on the quest, you're going to see that you'll be needed to upload some screenshots, you know, of proving that your agent actually ran. That is part of the submission quest and all that. I'll be sharing the leaderboard so you can see who so far is leading in this cohort in the leaderboard from the quest submissions from the first session to now, session 5. So guys, let's continue working on all this. So we have run the agent and we've got the output. So before you actually wrap this up, a quick word on what we call evaluation. So it works well when the answer genuinely lives in your document, as we've seen, okay? And the chunk boundaries that, okay? So you have to understand that first, okay? So it works well when the answer is what? It lives in your documents. And that's where you saw the response, I don't know, okay? Because it did not exist in the library, okay? So, the chunk boundaries kept the relevant text intact. So it fails when the retrieval pulls the wrong chunks, okay? We saw that, okay? So when chunking splits an idea into half, when chunking splits this idea into half, okay? Or when the model answers from the training data instead of the provided context. So quick evaluation on quick evaluation loop. So you can ask like a question, okay? You can ask a question that you know the answer to, and then you check the retrieve chunks by eye. And we actually saw that what's the capital city of Kenya? I know we all know Nairobi, except those who are joining us from other countries, okay? But now we've tested that, okay? So this brings me to like a quick recap of what we have done tonight. So the first thing that we checked on was the RAG in 5 steps, that is the chunk, embed, store, retrieve, generate, okay? All this grounded in your own documents instead of like a guess, okay? And then we also checked the chunking strategy and overlap. All these, they both affect, you know, the retrieval quality, okay? Have that in the back of your mind. And also, we also checked on a good RAG agent and the sites of its sources, you know, and how it is refusing to answer the questions and all those. So let me share the quest. Okay, if you've clicked the quest link that has been shared in the chats is going to take you to this site, Xpesa. Xpesa, by the way, it's a company run by our wonderful presenter Silas. Yeah, so for you to actually submit. So how do you actually submit? So for you to submit, once you click on that link, just click on get free access. Okay. Once you've clicked on get free access, it's going to take you to this page. So if you want access to the presentation slides, all that, just click on this and you're going to have, the preview of the session, the slides and all those. They are all in here. Okay. If you want to download it, you can download it, but don't share it. Kindly don't share it. Okay. Yeah. Just close some tabs. I think, yeah, I was running something very, very heavy on this PC. Okay. Let me just reload this page. So for you to enter the quest, just click enter quest, and then you can get to type. The first thing is your display name. So for me, let me just type Scotch. And then click on start quest, and then you're going to be redirected to this. So this is some of the quests. So phone number, this is my phone number, guys. If you want to reach out to me, if you have questions, feel free to WhatsApp me on that number. For those who are outside Kenya, it's +2547. And then okay, and then fork report screenshot. So you can attach the screenshot. Let me attach screenshots to this. Just head over pictures. Let me submit these three. And then okay, what is an embedding? Let me not answer. So basically you can type your responses here like that. Which of the following is not a chunking strategy? Okay, let me not answer these questions because I'll be giving you guys leakage to it. So that is how you submit the quests. Let me just head over and show you guys who's leading. Show you guys who's leading so far. So let me just log in to my Expressor account. Just okay, yeah, dashboard. It's on here. Okay, so far the top participants, we have Junior. Junior is leading so far. Junior is leading with 23 points, followed by Mwihoti, with 14 points, then followed by Okello Angelo, who has 14 points also, then Linda. So those are our top guys so far in the cohort. So yeah, let me just head back. I think there's something else I've not mentioned. Yeah, so let's make sure we submit the quests. So I think we've done that. Yeah, so in the next session on Thursday, coming up in the next session, so as you are prepared for what we are going to be diving on. So we'll be looking on autonomous payment agents and the safety architecture. Okay. Yes. Remember, we started from a very, very simple thing, which was what is an LLM? Okay. What is an agent? What is ChatGPT? But now we are deep into it. So if you'll be building payment system and all that, so in the next session, we'll be checking on autonomous payment agents and the safety architecture. So here, your agent will now evaluate a real business condition and initiate a USDC transfer on Fuji when it is met. Okay, and all this happens with what? With a human confirmation step. Remember, in session 2, we talked about the need of human step in your agentic system. So that is going to be there, and also the spending limits, and most importantly, a kill switch. So tonight so far, your agent, it has learned how the things, it now has learned to know things, but now on Thursday, it's going to learn how to act on them safely. I think some of the questions have been dropped there in the chat. So I've been your presenter, Joseph Mwangi. If you want to connect with me, feel free to scan the QR code over here. Meanwhile, as you guys are scanning that QR code, Lavender, I don't know if the polls are ready for tonight. I don't know if the polls are ready for tonight. Sorry guys, I don't know why I keep.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So tonight we don't have polls. Actually, for this cohort, we don't really have polls. So we are trying to double down and ensure that everybody actually does the quest and complete the quest instead, because the quests are the most important things that you want to ensure everybody does complete. So Joseph, if you can just stop sharing a screen for 1 minute, I need to share the events portal so that people can scan, find all the information on there. So just allow me to share my screen. So also on this QR code, we have linked the quest, right? So I've attached the quest link on here. So everybody should go in and explore that. It's very important. So let me just share my screen. 1 moment. Perfect. So okay, so this is our Nice of Cohort events page of building agentic systems. So if you're here, by the way, just a heads up that we are actually planning our final mini hack, which is Nights of Code, on the 28th of August. So you all are actually welcome to attend. Now, if you're here and you're wondering where to get information, where to get started, what to do, scan this QR code and scroll all the way to the resources. So if you can scan this, if you've scanned the QR code and you can see these the tabs here, give me some reactions just to know exactly where you all are. Give me some reaction. Nice. I see you, Jeff. I see you, Sony. I see you, Peter. I see you, Immaculate. Awesome. Yeah. So go ahead and scan this QR code. Once you scan this QR code, it will take you to the event. You also need to see, so this is the upcoming event that you took. This happening on the 28th of August from 6 p.m. to our final mini hack cohort 3, just wrapping up everything on that night. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, it's going to be fun. So come prepared to have some good engagement. And yeah, so if you scroll here, you will see some resources. So these are the resources that you want you to explore. So create your Builders Hub account, feel free to connect with me. Join the Telegram, join Mini Hub chat. This is the quest. This is very important because if you've not completed any of the quests, unfortunately, you I don't know if you make it the cuts for the finale, because we have a finale, we have an award ceremony. So the people that are actively engaging during the call, completing the quest, making posts, tagging us, especially when you make posts about this, your progress, how your journey is going, tag at Avax Africa, so that can be able to repost. Also feel free to tag me so that I can just keep tabs of who are the active people. And then we have the faucets here. So most of you are wondering where to get test nets and stuff like that. So we have the faucets, and then very important, engage. So this is going to be, this is our X page where we are posting all our updates. I would love for you to click on there and go ahead and engage right now. So the goal is to be able to ensure that everybody that we are, supporting during this session actually builds in public, because if you don't build in public, if people do not know about what you're building, if you do not talk about what you're building, then it's as good as just no people knowing about what you're building, and so we will not be able to know exactly how to support. But building in public is the new norm. So I would love for you to I would love to pause here. And yes, so Sonia has sent the link on the chat. So this is the same link that is taking you to this page. So please go ahead and engage with us on this post. So I'll just pause here for 2 minutes. So go in here, like, comment, like just on here, just tell us what you're building. Really would love to know what you're building. We'd love to keep tabs. How did you like the sessions? Were the sessions engaging? Did you enjoy? What do you look forward to learning? Are you looking forward to joining our sessions on Friday, which by the way, you all are actually welcome. So going here, I'm just looking at who has actually engaged. So far it's just Sonny and Daniel. So I'm waiting to see you all. Lewis, hi. Edwin, I see you. What's happening? Dennis, do something about it. So love to see you. We'd love to connect with you. So this is also another opportunity where after these sessions, we'd like to be able to know, okay, so this is someone from our cohort. So if they follow, we follow back. And if they like, we also go in and just engage with us with the comments that you will be dropping. So this is the moment where we would love to, go ahead and follow you back and just engage with you. So I'm looking forward to seeing most of your engagement. So I see also Ariri, you are here engaged 1 hour ago. That's lovely to see. So guys, don't sleep on these opportunities. This is another great opportunity for you to just really get that kind of awareness. So if you missed it, this is the QR code again. Please go ahead and scan this QR code. It will take you to this page. You should be able to see all these icons. If you're not able to see any of these icons, let me know, and we can be able to just debug that real time right now. But yeah, so let me give you a moment to scan the QR code, explore, check the resources, give us a feedback, also sign up for the newsletter. By the way, we're starting to send newsletters, giving you updates, keeping you posted on what you might have missed and what is upcoming. Yeah, so we're planning so many engaging and very fun activities that are coming up in the next couple of weeks, months. So this is a great place for you to be, well equipped. And so yeah, so this is mostly what I wanted to share. Let me just look quickly. Okay. So all right, I don't know. Yeah, so if you are good to go, if you already scanned the QR code and you can see the resources links, just give me some reactions so that we can now finally just to wrap up. Okay, so nobody has scanned the QR code. Nobody can see the resources. Okay. I see Sony. Nice. Thank you, Sony. I see you. I see crime cards. Nice. Shout out to you. I see Jeff. I see Fatma, Junior, Basil. Okay. Well, cool. I'm just gonna check on the analytics and see who's actually scanned it, so that I could, you never know. So we encourage active participation in our community. So given that we also have like the final night of code, you never know what's coming up. So the more you engage, the more you become consistent, the more we notice you, and yeah, only good things can come your way. Before I forget, if you're here part of, we actually have an incubation starting this Friday at American Spaces. Yeah, gonna be you're going to be exploring some real and skills, be learning 3D design, you know, since people that are big on robotics, so this is going to be a very fun cohort. So if you've been doing gamified system, see you at exactly 10 a.m. from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at American Space. This is at Maktabaku at Upper Hill. So when you get Upper Hill, just library, the Maktabaku library, and then come to Floor M, where we will be happy to host you. So come with an open mind. You'll be learning a lot from the gaming ecosystem. We have amazing guest speakers that are coming. So we will share location in the chats so that you just want to limit in case somebody just, we don't know this decentralized ecosystem, how people are moving. So we want to be very cautious. Yes. We want to ensure that the space is safe, for everybody, because a lot of things can happen. People are crazy out here. So we want to ensure we are catering for your well-being. So we will share that and better chat. So look out in the WhatsApp chat. I will be dropping. So this is going to be a really fun incubator cohort one. If you're just willing to, you just want to come and learn and explore, learn a new skill, because there's going to be a couple of new skills that are going to be taught. So you're welcome to join us. However, if you're not any of those, or if you're not a finalist, you just arrived, you're like, what? So you have yeah, we do. So don't worry. This is an opportunity for you to actually get to build something, ship something. And if you get lucky and you put in a good submission, you're going to get invited to our incubator programs. We're running different incubator programs for different projects, different cohorts. First cohort is on payment, second cohort is on gaming, and third cohort is on agentic systems. So definitely you are before we wrap up, and when we will do another on time. So don't sleep on this opportunity. Started to upskill yourself and build and literally just ship and go to market. So and you all are actually really welcome, as long as you are willing to learn and teach one another, upskill one another, empower one another. So we will be sharing the link for registration. So in case you are not a finalist and you really want to come, you really have to come, and you're big on gaming, you've built games, so let us know, and we will be sharing with you the link to RSVP. So this link might not go out as much as you're pushing for the other links. It might be just for the internal comms. But if you really want to be there, let us know in the mini hub chat, and we will be happy to see if we can consider you, because it's a very small engagement that you want to have, like a very thoughtful, intentional session that you're putting together for the cohort 2 finalist. Okay, so that's about me. Enough of my yapping. I welcome all the questions. Is there anybody with a question or a concern, or just any feedback that they would like to give us? We'll be all open ears. So before we wrap up the call, I think this is going to be very important for everybody on the call. So anybody with a question or a concern or anything really that they would like to share, remember, we are open to asking questions freely. We encourage that in the community. We encourage to teach one another. In case they want to also contribute to something, feel free to share away. Yes, Junior.
Okay, I don't have a question or a concern. I just have a compliment, and I'd like to appreciate you guys for opening up this space for us. I'm pretty new to the Web3 game, and for this platform that you had given us, and the the technical leads, Silas and Joseph, have given us great mafunzo. I'm sorry, Kiswahili yangu saa zingine inaingia kwa Kizungu. No, but I'm happy and thank you for everything.
Well, amazing. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you to you too for being so consistent and for just, validating that this was such an impactful session and that you value this session. I appreciate your consistency. I appreciate your honesty. So proud of you for being one of the finalists for the gaming cohort. I can't wait to see what you get to build. We're here to support. We're here to actually help you go to market and ship your product. So yeah, there's always the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm so proud of you for, coming from being a beginner, a newbie to now shipping products and going to market. Yay. So that's exactly what we aim to do, turning builders into founders in this agentic era. And yeah, we are so happy and we're so proud of you. Yes. Okay. See Joseph. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Joseph. Now, I have a quick question on regards to is it coding in robotics? Now, is it possible you guys create a community for maybe young developers? Okay, right now I normally train coding in robotics in schools, and we do have some young learners who are into tech. So, is it possible to create a community that bring them together, and maybe some competition for them, that the learners in maybe primary schools and secondary schools?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, shout out to you for it being enabling this ecosystem and tapping into their most untapped market. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea, because I think sometime earlier this week we tried to do something with the Nova Pioneer. So they're big on leadership and innovation. So we tried to do something with them. It was really great, but we've never done anything of the same ever again. But I think your question, your concerns are very valid. If this is something that you are already doing, already tapped into, would love to have a conversation and just see how we can be able to support, because we see that as a great potential. Obviously, I know maybe you're already really connected with some of these schools, because sometimes that could be the challenge. How do we get connected to some of these primary schools or high schools? And are they receptive? Are they willing to actually learn? Because it's, blockchain and AI. So many people know blockchain as like cryptocurrency, so it becomes sometimes difficult to want to penetrate in such markets. But if this is something that you're willing to collaborate on, we are more than happy to connect. We're more than happy to share more ideas and just, see how we can be able to support. Again, feel free to connect with me. I don't know if I don't know if you're big on Twitter, but this is my X, right? So if you just DM me on X, I'll just send my details, my WhatsApp number, and then we can be able to connect. So it's just like connect with me here, DM me, and yeah, I'm pretty much active on X, so I check on all my DMs. Yeah, so let us have a conversation and see how we can be able to create some impact together. But yeah, thanks for that. I really I love that idea. Yes. Okay. I don't know if there's any other question. Yeah. So in case, yes, I see Anthony. Anthony, you have another question?
I'm sorry, but it's not a question. Okay, I have one question. There were sessions by Mercy that were there during the first cohort. I don't know if they can be revived. They were quite good.
Okay, Irene, are you on the call?
And the other thing that is out of topic, you have not followed me on X with Silas and Joseph.
Lol, definitely right away. Yeah, thanks for putting me on the spot, but yes, I'm gonna follow you right back. Okay, don't worry, no worries at all. Oh yeah, so Marcy, I think the session that you're referring to with Marcy were the office hours. So the office hours were great. So we will see how we can be able to revive those now that we have different incubator programs that also Marcy is supporting. So you can imagine how that could be a lot of back to back calls. So we're just like structuring out everything and ensuring that the time frames that you put together makes sense for most people, because also sometimes the people's availability can be a challenge, because most of the people sometimes they're at work, or someone is not able to join because maybe it's too early or too late. Yeah, so we would work around the timings and then we will be able to communicate the same. But yeah, I think those office hours were great, and definitely if you can revive them back, that would be great. Oh, and if you're wondering if you're gonna have an incubator program for this final cohort, yes, we will. So we will have incubator programs for all the cohort. So it's just that the first cohort will have a really good advantage, because by then, by the end of this August, they would have gained so much traction. And so maybe for the finalists, they will just like have to really go fast and catch up. But way we're planning it doesn't end at mini hack, right? So we're planning like a pathway for you all. So even after mini hack, we will have incubator programs, and after that we're taking you into a founders fellowship. So all of you that maybe did not get a chance to participate in the incubator, or maybe to like too short notice, maybe like you didn't get a chance to double down, or maybe like just really especially for the last cohort, this cohort, agentic cohort, we have a founders founders fellowship for you. There's going to be more like an accelerator. So yeah, it's still a great chance, and it's still a great opportunity to continue building, because the main goal and the main reason why we are doing this is to prepare you for the Team 1 mini grants. So these mini grants are actually awarded to founders that have built scalable solutions that have traction. So by now, if you're already from the, from either maybe let's cohort 1, cohort 2, right? By now, you're supposed to be thinking about how to get users, how do you open a wait list? Have you opened a social platform for your product? Have you secured a domain? Have you done proper research? Do you understand the clients that need to attract for your platform, the client acquisition, distribution, marketing? So these are some of the things that we'll be sharing with you during the incubator, so that you can be able to just set up the right foundation. So minimum, before even you start applying for mini grants and stuff like that, minimum user base you need to have on your platform. Users. Once you have 1,000 users, then you're gonna be able to validate that my product is working. I validated the solution, validated the product, and so it's easier to have that conversation, and it's easier to vouch for you all. And that's kind of what you're preparing you ahead of time, so that by the time that time comes, you'll be way ahead, and nothing will stop you, basically. So that's what you're trying to build here, and I hope you all actually get a chance to experience all these experiences that you're putting together for you, especially for this final cohort. It's going to be really great. Yeah, I know it's the last one. It's worth it. It's gonna be worth it, and yeah, we are here for it. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if there's any other thing that before we just wrap up. At 10 p.m. is most people's bedtime. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Austin.
Hi, everybody. I was just inquiring about something. Can we be building with interoperability aspect, on the sense, let's say you're building on Avalanche, you're building on Arbitrum, and now just merge everything so that, because you can find that building on another blockchain can have some benefits, like also building on Avax can have also some benefits to whatever you're building.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So once you build on Avalanche, there is actually documentation on interoperability. There's a way you can connect with other chains. So that's one other benefit. So once you've built on Avalanche, you can connect it with other chains how you want. You just drop all these links. They can be found in the Builders Hub. Just click on Builder Hub, and then under the console. The console here, under the console, you'll be able to see a section for interoperability. So yeah. Back to the vendor.
Thank you, Joseph, for that clarification. Yes, can you hear me? Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Senior. So, as you heard, you're building on the most powerful layer 1 blockchain. So, which means, it's a multi-chain. So it leverages the multi-chain architecture. So, which means you're really thinking in the right direction. That's the whole purpose. Yeah. So this is possible. And if you're building on Avalanche, literally, nothing can stop reggae. Yeah, we are here for it, for all of that. So yes. I think that's pretty much it. Or do you have anyone else before we close the opportunity for you to share? Okay, going once. Going twice. I've seen Immaculate has dropped the link for the interoperability. Thank you, Immaculate. Perfect. So I guess there's no more questions, there's no more concerns. You all are satisfied. I appreciate you all for joining the sessions. I hope to see you again this week. I think this week we're going to be meeting one more last time this week, and then next week we'll meet on Tuesday. So this week we'll meet again on Thursday, same time at 8 p.m. East African time zone. And then you're gonna meet next week on Tuesday at same time East African time zone, like 8 p.m. East African time zone. And then Thursday, so we have like 1, 2, 3, 3 more sessions before the Night of Code. So I hope by the time you're doing the Night of Code, you will already have understood all these concepts. You already started to think about the products or the kind of solutions they're gonna be building. However, this is just to help you learn to build, because we have problem statements that we're going to share with you with validated business models. So your job is to just understand the problem statement, understand the resources you need, the tools that's right for you, and then boom, get right into it and start building. Okay, so yeah, Joseph, you have another thing to add on?
Yes. Just a note on the Night of Code. As Lavender said, the problems are going to be shared, so you can start ideating and maybe forming partners as early as now. If not, teams can be formed on site, so that we advise you reach on time. So the Night of Code starts exactly at 6:15. So arrival time is between 6 to 6:10. Then from 6:15 to 6:45, that's when you'll be doing the team formation for those who don't have teams. If you arrive late, it's going to be very, very hard for us to allocate you to teams. Remember, the teams, we want teams to have someone who knows how to write smart contracts, a front-end designer, a back-end developer, you see, someone in the marketing, something of that sort. And also, kindly before Night of Code, if you've not been able to attend all these sessions, I'd strongly advise just go over the recordings from the other sessions, the GitHub code base, what we did, Still, they're all accessible in the talent index. You can basically see them. They're the ones, the repositories are named minihack code 3. So any code base that you see, any repository that you see written minihack code 3, that's the one. So I'd strongly advise you go through that, fork, try it out. So as by the time we are getting there, the night runs smoothly. So as we don't get any hindrances across the night, and we want products that can actually go to market, not just some silly solutions. Remember, you're not building for a hackathon, you're building for the market. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you, Lavender, and have a good night, everyone. Back to you, Lavender.
Thank you. You all have heard. So in case you already have an idea, you already get track, bring it on. But we will be building on just 5 problem statements that we'll be sharing on the night of code, right? So like Joseph has mentioned, this time around we have restructured a few things. So it's going to be really fun. So you want to come early, settle in early, so that you might be able to just, be able to catch up. So if you don't have to miss anything, basically. So arrive early, you'll find your, representatives, are able, collaborators are able to trainers waiting for you. So yeah, come really ready to build. Bring your laptops. Last time we had some guys coming without their laptops, like confused. Like, are you coming to code your phone? So the code actually building. Yeah, so don't forget to bring your laptops. Other than that, this has been a great session. So thank you all for your consistency. Thank you all for keeping showing up for yourselves. Yeah, really, we are looking to take you all to market. So let's go. Yeah, so that's been a great session so far. You all have a good night if you're going to bed, and if you're going to bed as well, like night all. So until next time, see you all soon, and yeah, have a good one. Bye.